We hear all the time just how prolific zucchini is in the garden. It's always considered a great plant to plant in the garden. There's usually so much produce from it that you have enough to feed yourself and your family and the neighbours and possibly the whole street. But I have had a really disappointing journey with zucchini and squash. Let me show you some of the adventure I've been on. Pumpkin keeping the ground covered while I'm waiting for the season to change. And in here, we've got lots of button squash just starting. Nothing to pick yet. There's another little green one. What's that? I think that may be a squash that's gone mouldy. Oh, and another one. I discovered that, yes, that was a button squash that had gone mouldy. I removed that. The fruit is not maturing. Most of it's rotting, but it just doesn't seem to be growing. There's some tiny ones here, another few here, some more at the back. They just seem to be getting stung by fruit fly really quickly. So I haven't had any button squash. My zucchini also is being stung before it gets big enough to pick. However, this one's looking all right. I'd like it to be a little bit longer before I pick it. We've had an interesting development with our zucchini. So last week was the second week where we were getting no fruit because of fruit fly. There's no mold on the plant, but they just keep getting stung with fruit fly. And so I was losing them all, and they were getting to about that size and then effectively melting because of the fruit fly. Last week I bought a new fruit fly trap and I hung it on that plant there, and look what I discovered today. 2 zucchinis and there's no stings. And a third one. Now, all 3 of those would have been stung by now and starting to melt. I'm thinking I'll try and leave them a little bit longer. It seems that that might have done the trick. So, coming around, having a look at the fruit fly trap. And we have a few inside. Now, this is a bait for male fruit flies created by the company Bugs for Bugs, and it attracts male fruit flies with that lure, and they get in there and they get stuck. And I'm thinking it may have made a difference for my zucchini. I have others around the yard, but their refills have been in for a while, so I'm not convinced they were working so well. But this one clearly has lured some in, and my zucchinis aren't stung. It's very exciting. Okay, so let's go and have a look at the other ones. I have one here. It has, not as many as I thought, because I changed its bait out a month ago perhaps. I wrote it down on the calendar. I have another one under this lime tree. It has some in there too. And then I have a 4th one on this avocado. And its lid is cracked and it's got water getting in it and it's not attracting many. Actually, I'm going to move it from here because there's no fruit over here. When I don't have fruit fly bait, I think I do get a lot more fruit fly. It seems that they work better when they're kept in the shade. My squash are suffering the same fate. It's a bunch of male flowers. There you go. That looks stung. That looks stung. Getting anywhere near maturity. And it's not that far from the lure in the tree over there. I don't know if you can see it. Bright yellow lid right there in the gap. I don't know. Not having success with my squash. But we'll see. If I get some fruit from this, then maybe it was worth it. I've never grown squash before. Actually, I think I might have, but probably not this variety. And I don't quite understand what it's doing. It's got long sections that come out with the female flowers on. The male flowers tend to be further down the stem. You can see there's no ovary on that one, so it's not going to turn into a fruit, but this one being the female, it's got your ovary there and the flower there, and that's what the fruit, well, the ovary is the fruit. But every time they get about the size of a 50-cent piece, they rot. I believe it's because of fruit fly, and I haven't got any off them from all this growth. Yeah, I've got no squash at all. So I don't know the secret there. So it's very disappointing. And this is my zucchini bush. I was showing hubby this morning how it was going, and I touched it and it cracked, and that's the end of that bush. I won't be getting any more fruit off that one. My project today is to create a trellis for this zucchini plant. It's already looking happy. A lovely couple of fruits coming on. Hopefully I'll get more from this one than the fruit fly did of the last one. But zucchini can often suffer from being too wet, not enough airflow. So I want to make a trellis so it can grow up rather than sprawl all over the ground like my other one does. I'm going to use bicycle wheels supported by pickets to put around the zucchini. I'm all finished. I think it looks fabulous. So this is going to help me keep my zucchini up off the ground. Hopefully that'll mean fewer mould problems. I don't know that it'll benefit in any other way. It looks so cool. Very exciting. And hopefully these little zucchini will turn into fruit that I can eat. At the moment, they're barely the length of 2 knuckles. So I'm not picking them yet. It looks like a lot of them on there. So we'll see how that goes. Well, my zucchini isn't looking happy. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so that branch could be wilting because it was damaged when it was put on the support, but it's not the only one that's wilting, and I don't really know what's happening. Maybe it does look like there's some fungus growth there, but I do not have the knowledge to know what's going on here and why these new leaves here are so wilted. This is beyond my understanding. So, what's the answer with growing squash? I don't know. I hear it's something that should be easy to grow, but I have not had success. After my first planting, being stung by lots of fruit fly, I decided I'd plant some late in the season to see if I could grow some when there were fewer fruit fly. Well, I did. I actually harvested 2 squash, about as big as my hand, but then the bush has just gone to mould and they're just not doing well. There's no more fruit appearing. The stem is rotting and it completely isn't working. So I can't grow it in the end of summer because of fruit fly. I can't grow it at the start of autumn because of mould. So I will continue to learn about squash, and hopefully one day I'll discover a way to grow it where it is successful and I get a crop.